Okay, welcome back to the Name Redacted podcast, America's most beloved podcast, the most downloaded Red Sox podcast on the internet. We got a full house today. I don't know if Pete could make it, but I don't want him. Pete is suspended indefinitely. He may not come back for the rest of the season. If the Red Sox continue to win, Pete has to be banned, right, Jake?
100%.
Yeah, Pete's got to go. I'm sorry. I mean, I normally, if he was going to the games and they won a couple games that he was going to, but Pete was going to the game, they've lost. I was talking about how I was like, yeah, thanks for taking the heat off of me, Pete, because all the games that I've gone to too, they've lost. Now they're winning the games that I'm going to. So I think we figured out the problem. I think it's Pete. Pete being back. I mean, put it this way. When Pete left Section 10, they immediately won a championship. That's just a tough look. I love Pete. I think the show is better when he's here, when we're working with a full roster. But I mean, he's just got to go. I'm sorry. But the Red Sox have won 5 straight baseball games. They've won 3 straight series. And I said this in the State of the Nation video, which, by the way, State of the Nation videos are back. Good to be back. The Texas Rangers, when the Red Sox, because everyone's like, oh, yeah, you beat the Rangers. Who gives a shit? Blah, blah, blah. Texas Rangers, they took 2 out of 3 from them. They had the 4th best record in baseball in the month of May when they took 2 out of 3. Then they take 2 out of 3 from the Houston Astros. And then they sweep the Seattle Mariners in a 4-game set. And I'm not going to sit here and say that this is last year's Seattle Mariners team. It's not. Last year, the Seattle Mariners, there's a lot of magic there. That's how they became America's team. Mariners fans don't even want me to call them America's team anymore. They think it's I'm mocking them. No, I'm just trying to throw some morale behind the Mariners. I want the Mariners to get back to the playoffs. That'd be great. So I'm going to stop calling them America's team. However, it's very hard to sweep in a 4-game series, no matter how bad a team is. And the Red Sox take the first 3. They go on a Sunday, and I was like, I mean, we're allowed a little slapdick game here if that's what happens. And you have yourself a 2-run lead, and then all of a sudden you get a dinky 2-run homer off of Nate, and you're like, here comes the shitty dinky loss. And then they battle back. Now it's 3-2. Then you go into the 9th, and Hansel Robles gives up a bomb. There was 2 outs, right?
Yes, but shout out Trevor Story, that play beforehand on that crazy hop.
Right.
That could have been a 2-run home run, and that could have been the game right there.
So you have a game-tying home run, and you're like, fuck, here we go. We're going to fucking lose this game now because of the bullpen. Another blown save for Boston Red Sox.
The narratives are already written coming into Monday. Look, the bullpen is still the same problem.
Yep. Then you go into extras, and you're like, fuck. Red Sox can't win in extras. Then it's 4-3 Mariners. And it's like, shit. You had a fucking 3-2 lead in the 9th, 2 outs. Now it's 4-3 Mariners in extras. And lo and behold, things are just different around here. We're not going to say it. Tyler's not going to say it. I know Pat's not going to say it. There's 0.000% chance Jake's going to say it. Pete would probably say it because that's just Pete. But I'm not going to say it, and Pete ain't here. So none of us here are going to say it. And you listening, I know that I can trust you guys. You're not going to say it either. No one here is saying it. Only one person is saying it, and it's Will Middlebrooks. And I just texted him to see if he can come on the podcast. He doesn't know yet. It's to apologize. But he's somewhere. I don't know. Depending on how late this podcast goes, I'm still going to try to get him on here to not say it and apologize for saying it. The players in the clubhouse are now aware of June 28th. The players know about this. Chaim Bloom knows about this. I can confirm. Organizationally, it's an organizational decision that we're not going to say it until June 28th. no matter what the record is. They could win every single game until June 27th, and we're still not going to say it. I know that people are going to want to say it. A lot of people are probably just holding their breath right now, blue in the face, because they want to say it now, and it's May 22nd. Imagine if they just keep winning series, winning baseball games, how badly you're going to want to say it on June 27th, knowing that you absolutely cannot. But we're all suffering together. We're all suffering through these wins together, okay? And we're in a good spot. But one of the mottos in the clubhouse right now, I can tell you, is stay humble. They know where they're at in the standings. They know who's in front of them. But they know how well they've been playing recently. They know what the schedule is in the coming days. But they're going to stay humble. And that's how it's the Bill Belichick motto. Don't get too high on highs. Don't get too low on lows. And that's what the Red Sox have adopted. And that's where we're at. So, with that being said, Pat, did you watch the games?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, you did. I bet you did. What was your favorite moment from the weekend?
Oh, I mean, the walk-off granny.
Yeah.
Man. Come on.
You can't pick that one. That's like,
honestly, it's
trendy.
not one moment for me, though, Jared. If we're going to talk baseball here, today's game's I remember, if you guys remember correctly, I picked 3 out of 4 with the high probability that there could be a sweep. And the reason I did that is because we have games like this where you're going to get these rinky-dink shit. You're going to lose, and the team in April loses that game today. But this is the type of team. This is, you see the Yankees and how good they are. They win these games. The Red Sox did today too. So my thing is battling back, showing that you're not going to allow the bullpen. The bullpen has been bad, but they didn't really do that bad today. And this happens throughout a season when pitchers give up runs. It wasn't like they gave up 15 like I did. That's bad. You're going to give up runs. Now the hitters can do what they're supposed to do, which is score 5 runs more a lot of times and win ball games. So I'm very pleased. Very pleased.
Yeah. We're not going to make fun of Pat because we're keeping the vibes positive. The vibes couldn't be more positive right now, so we're not going to make fun of Pat. You can make fun of yourself, but I would prefer you didn't. I prefer you gave yourself a nice little pat on the back here and there, Pat.
Of course. I just want to point out to fans what actual bad pitching is. And not, just because they've been bad this year doesn't mean that they did bad today. They didn't. They blew a lead, but it wasn't like they were walking 10 guys and they were, actually being bad pitchers. It just happens sometimes. People are going to give up runs.
And I just want to say this. Your career wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't that bad.
It's a nice take.
It wasn't that bad.
No.
I thought you did a nice job.
Thank you. I appreciate
you know what?
That.
You clap it for yourself, Pat?
Yeah. Why not? Got to pat himself in the back. Hey, you had a nice career, Pat.
Thank you.
Stay humble.
Yeah, stay humble. We got to talk about Trevor Story. Because, Jesus Christ. This is an individual, and this happens here in Boston. We've had it happen multiple times. Guys come from a market where, at least with like Pablo Sandoval, it's pretty crazy in San Francisco. But Carl Crawford coming from Tampa, David Price coming from Tampa, and then you have Trevor Story coming from Colorado, which the fans are great there, but like it's nothing like this, obviously.
Admitted he had never been booed before by the home crowd. Never been booed.
At any level, I would imagine. He's never been booed. Never, having a bad game and then going to the cage immediately, not knowing that you were going to get, skewered for not facing Dan Shaughnessy.
Can I say that was arguably my favorite part of the weekend when Alex Cora, after the 3-homer game, that was one of the first things that came out of his mouth. Shaughnessy's had the Carl Crawford comps in some of his pieces. He's kind of, in my opinion, been leading this, Trevor Story's a bust narrative. And what does Alex Cora come out and say immediately after that game? No matter what the results are, good or bad, he's in that cage after that game. And you know what? he reminds me of one of the most old school baseball minds I've been around in all the recent years. For the Dan Shaughnessy's of the world who hate analytics and cry about today's game. Well, this is a guy, according to Alex Cora, an old-fashioned baseball mind. He resembles that same mold. He's part of that cloth. And what happens? What is he doing? Other guys are following him. Other guys are gravitating to him. Other guys see him as a leader already. So for those people who want to say there's a divide in the clubhouse, that Trevor Story arriving has made things weird and that, this team doesn't get along and they're kind of divided with the Xander Bogaerts stuff and all this contract extension talk. That was Alex Cora's way, and he's a classy guy, and I'm not trying to say he was trying to shit on Dan Shaughnessy, but in my opinion, in that moment, he was saying, we've heard the outside noise. Let's let you know what's really going on in this clubhouse. And it's Trevor Story. He's hitting bombs. Grand slam the next day. Go-ahead shot today before everything happened. Huge plays in the ninth inning with the glove. Defense is great now. 83rd percentile, and now it's above average. Sounds pretty damn good to me.
I'm debating whether or not to share this.
Talk to us, Jared. Jared, talk to us.
I'm debating whether or not to share this on the podcast. Maybe I'll share it later in the show. So that's a tease to get people to hang in, because obviously they're gonna want to hang in for the Klark's Ketchup MVP, of course. You know what's crazy actually about this series is that JD kind of blew Trevor Story out of the water. Obviously Trevor Story is the Klark's Ketchup Series MVP because he played in all 4 games and every hit meant something and was a home run, basically. But Trevor Story in this series hit 400, and JD Martinez in this series hit 583. No one. I mean, what the fuck?
When Trevor Story was going yard, who was ahead of him? Who was on base for those moments? It was JD Martinez setting him up.
Right. I mean, Trevor Story played in all 4 games. Like I said, JD was out on Sunday. But Trevor Story hit 400 with an 1844 OPS, and Julio hit 583 with a 1365 OPS.
I know all the love is going to Xander and, Devers and understandably even Story now, but it's kind of incredible. And, I was someone with JD Martinez last year. I had real concerns whether we'd see this form of JD Martinez again. And it's almost picked up right from where he was in the playoffs. And I give credit to JD. He took a lot of responsibility down the stretch last year for feeling like he didn't produce the way he wanted to in the second half. This is like vintage. This is 2018 JD Martinez. And, getting that kind of production, it goes such a long way for this Red Sox lineup. And I think a big reason for it, he's not on the field. They're keeping him at DH. Just focus on hitting.
Yeah.
Don't go out there. No kind of platoon. We don't need to do any of that. I think that's why we're seeing this version of JD Martinez again.
It's a good point. Yeah, there's something else there with JD. I don't know. And there's things. There's things that I hear. There's things that I see. And I'm just like, all right. Just,
a lot of things you're hearing.
Yeah, well, I'm hearing things. I'm hearing some stuff. And I'll share one of them. But the other one, maybe I'll leave it. But I'll share the other one. Later in the show. But I just wanted to make sure that Julio got his praise because motherfucker hit 583 in the series. It was like, you guys got the last one. Like, I'm tired. I'm tired of carrying this goddamn offense. Nice
AL
series
leader
for
in
Kike.
doubles.
Huh?
AL leader in doubles.
AL leader in doubles. I think for a while he was the leader in hits. That might be fucking Bogaerts or Devers. I don't know. It's someone.
I think Devers took it over now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Bogaerts did not have a good series. Bogaerts at 214 with a 508 OPS in this series.
He also almost died.
Landed on a ball. Christian Vasquez had himself a series. Christian Vasquez, 2 big hits in this series that directly led to wins for the Boston Red Sox.
And let me make it clear, he was safe. on that play at home. His foot touched home plate.
And he dropped the ball.
Yeah, it's just replay. What an absolute joke.
Yeah.
You just can't depend on it whatsoever.
Jackie Bradley Jr. hit 333 with a 12-18 OPS in this series. He's just he's a different breed at Fenway. I don't know what it is, but the dude fucking mashes at Fenway. Kike, 294 with an 839 OPS in this 4-game series. I mean, yeah, I would say if Xander Bogaerts, if you put it this way, prior to the thing that we're not supposed to say, if you had a series where Bogaerts was not hitting, that's a loss. The fact that they swept 4 games and Bogaerts was not able to contribute much offensively, June 28th, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Because this team, the way that they were going prior to the Texas series, was not able to sustain, absorb, and win unless Xander Bogaerts was doing it all.
And even when he was, sometimes it still didn't mean anything.
It didn't mean anything.
And I think the craziest part is, and we're kind of doing it right now, think of a player on the Red Sox, whether it's, outside of the big three, whether it's Franchy, Vasquez, Kike, even Verdugo before missing the last couple days, Vasquez, all these guys that we sat and questioned and wondered, did they not all have a moment? Even Bobby. Bobby had an RBI single in this series, some big walks. Who didn't have a moment?
Walk it off.
I wanted it for him.
I mean, the fact that you had everybody contribute, and then you have the walk-off grand slam. Franchy Cordero, a dude that, by the way, I think people actually do forget this. The Red Sox designated Franchy Cordero for assignment
last October.
They were like, you know what? If you want him, you can have him. Sure. You just got to claim him. No teams claimed him. And the Red Sox assigned him back to Worcester, where he is an absolute legend there. He finds an opportunity because Bob is struggling at first base. Hey, we got an opening up here. We can't call up Tristan Casas yet. You want to give it a go at first base? Fine. And actually, I think I was like reading on Twitter somewhere that that he's like becoming like one of like the more popular guys in the clubhouse. Like people love Franchy.
So yeah, this was really interesting. And I think it was Cora talked about it after the game. So last year, we all remember the wave, right? That was one of their signature moves on the base paths. That was a Franchy Cordero creation. Now this year.
Was it really?
Yeah, he gave credit to him. And then this year, the little, this isn't great for people who are just listening, but the little breaking they're all doing on the base paths, that's Franchy Cordero as well.
Huh.
So sneaky, big clubhouse guy for this team.
Interesting.
And apparently he was this guy down in Worcester as well. And he's not the loudest guy, but just very good vibes, very good guy to have around. And you look at it now at the plate, it's a 103 weighted runs created plus this year. So before Franchy, even still when he first got here, worst first base production in the league. You now have a slightly above league average hitter in terms of production.
Wow. Franchy Cordero, huh? Wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be? That would be a great story, by the way. And another victory for Chaim. If Franchy Cordero could emerge. I mean, I was at batting practice on Friday, and Franchy was in the cage. And I was talking to Jesse Winker, and he's watching Franchy hit, and he's like, "Who the fuck is that guy? He's crushing the ball. Like, did he just get called up?" I was like he's been here, and he was here a little bit last year. I was like, they got him in the Benintendi trade, and then I pulled out my phone and I showed him the Philly home run because prior to the walk-off grand slam, the Philly home run was the only home run that Franchy ever hit with the Boston Red Sox. So it was kind of like a foreshadowing moment for Winker being like, yeah, man, like this guy, he gets a fucking hold of one. Like he can really hit. And yeah, I guess he's kind of like a, I don't want to call him like a secret weapon where guys around the league don't know Franchy, but if you don't know Franchy and you're in the American League East, like you should know Franchy.
And I think the other thing is when he starts running, dude can fly. Like
Dude had a
he's
triple.
upper echelon in terms of like sprint speed. And yeah, that triple leads to Vasquez's big hit. 2 games in a row. And he had some bad luck today. Couple hard lineouts. Hard. And, everyone was kind of sitting there and hoping the results were going to come. Boom. He gets rewarded at the end. Absolute tank job. Travis Shaw vibes. Travis Shaw Grand Slam walk-off vibes.
So he got called up on April 29th. I want to look at the numbers for average exit velocity since he got called up. He has to be up there. He hits the fucking piss out of the ball.
He had that ball hit the mound the other day that like launched itself into center field. I think might have been right before Jackie's homer or whatever it was.
Let's see. Minimum 50 plate appearances. Pat, you alive?
I'm here.
There you are. Pat, do you have the
He has it up.
no,
I have what up?
do you have the here it is. Average exit velocity. 89. All right, so not as hard as I would have thought. He's like right there with Jackie Bradley.
89th percentile in max exit velocity this year. 85th in sprint speed.
His average exit velocity since getting called up is 89, tied with Jackie Bradley. Trevor Story, 90.1. Julio, 93.2. And then Devers at 95.9.
Freak.
Oh, Franchy. You big Franchy guy, Jake?
Huge Franchy guy.
You fucking love Franchy. Who doesn't love them some Franchy? That dude, I mean, it didn't look gone off the bat. I was kind of disappointed off the bat. And then it went over the fucking bullpen. It looked like it had a chance to be caught in right field. And I was like, off the bat, I was like, fuck. And it just kept going and going and going until it was quite literally over the bullpen. Like a couple rows back.
You're not supposed to be able to turn on a slider like that.
No.
It's just not like regular guys can't do stuff like that, especially over the bullpen.
No, regular guys can't do that. But regular guys can slide into stacks of cash this baseball season with DraftKings Sportsbook. They can do that if they want to. An official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. New customers can bet just $5 on any team to win and get $150 in free bets no matter what, win or lose. Looking to turn a small bet into a big payday during MLB season? With DraftKings same game parlays, you can do just that. Create your own parlay by combining multiple bets like which team will win, how many bases will be stolen, total runs, and more. It's your shot at an even bigger payout. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. All you have to do is download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use the promo code Jared, Jared. Bet just $5 and get $150 in free bets no matter what happens on the field. That is promo code Jared at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See the show notes for details. MLB trademarks used with permission. From a pitching standpoint, a couple things we got to point out here. Career high for strikeouts, Nathan Eovaldi is 11. I mean, like 11 strikeouts is a lot, but he fucking throws 100 miles an hour. I was very surprised to see that.
On the day, he hits 1,000 big league Ks as well.
Yeah. I mean, Pat, what was your career high in strikeouts lifetime at any level?
It was college. I think it was maybe like 17 or so.
You struck out 17 batters in a game?
Yeah.
Why is your mic so low now? You keep fucking
low?
around with the mic?
It's like, yeah, it was really good at the beginning, but it's like it was
Yeah, you
last
fucked
week.
something up.
I do want to hear Pat on his collegiate record being passed, correct? Didn't that just happen?
Yeah,
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
How you feeling about that, Pat?
I gotta say, I didn't know I had the record.
Humble.
Yeah, I remember like when they tweeted it at me, I was like, oh, I did do that. But I didn't know at the time. I didn't know if I still had it. I'm happy for the guy. I don't remember the guy's name, Tim or something.
You didn't give him a call after the game or anything?
No, I think I
ask you to
retweeted.
record like a video message to put on the video board after he broke the record. Like, hey guys, it's Pat Light. This is a very prestigious record that I definitely remembered that I had. Congratulations to Tim or something, and go whatever the fuck the mascot is at Monmouth.
Was it career strikeouts or in a season?
I don't know.
It's your record.
Well, not anymore. I think it was a single season, but it was that same year that I had 16 in the game or 17 in the game. I can't remember how much it was.
So that's crazy that you don't remember your records. I'd be talking about that for the rest of my life. Oh yeah, I had fucking Endicott College D3 baseball single season or all-time strikeout record, and I would know the exact number, and I would be pissed if someone broke it.
Yeah.
And if they asked me to record a video message, I would just be like, fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah, nope, didn't know I had it. The record I do know I have is the highest draft pick out of the conference.
I think it's the highest ERA for a Red Sox reliever.
What do we say about
time.
the good vibes today?
I thought that's what you were gonna say. I don't believe in that shit. ERA is a state of mind. It's not a real number to me.
No, not a real number.
No. So we're staying positive, which is what I said.
Yes, it is.
I mean, you're my favorite Red Sox reliever of all time.
I have to be.
I mean, if you think about it, like I was mainly fastball split. Like we're kind of the same guy. It's just you made it to the big leagues and I didn't.
Yeah.
But we did end up at the same place ultimately.
Ultimately, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I did not throw a changeup because I didn't like the way it felt.
Yeah, stupid. Why throw it slower? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You can't hit the fast one. Why would I throw it slower than that?
Right. So you just throw the split. It's like, all right. I mean, I only threw a splitter because Kurt Schilling threw a splitter. So, and then it was like, all right, you try to strike guys out. And then if there's a guy on first, now I'm just going to throw the splitter so I can get a double play. Like I wasn't trying to miss bats with the splitter. I was trying to get guys to fucking chop it and get a ground ball double play.
I was trying to get them to miss it.
Yeah, I wasn't. I was like, go
my
ahead,
strikeout pitch,
fucking
though.
play, douchebag. And they wouldn't.
Trust your teammates.
Yeah. Fucking 4-seam, 2-seam, split, curve. That's it. It's the whole enchilada.
The whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Nathan Eovaldi, career high, 11 strikeouts, got a little dinky 2-run shot off of him, which is nice to see because I mean I'm not the did it dong. That's the only ballpark it would have been a home run in, so I'm not going to count it. So an encouraging bounce back from fucking 6 homers against Houston, 5 in the same inning. What other pitching performances am I missing?
I think you guys need to talk about Matt Barnes. He only pitched once, but
yeah,
he did
got
it
the
again.
ninth.
He did it against Houston too. It was in the middle of the game with Houston.
It was the
But-
7th.
Yeah,
those are still big outs.
people want to give bullshit to people when they do one bad outing, but when they have a good outing, they're just like, that's what you're supposed to do. So go fuck yourself. So
Right.
we're going to talk about the bad stuff. We talk about the good stuff. Matt is doing fantastic in the past 2 outings he's had. He looked good. We can get him at the back of the bullpen the way he was at the beginning of last year. Watch out.
You know what else he fucking did? I saw him at 96 on the gun. So let me ask you this, Pat, because what I did notice from Matt was that, and I mean, we could just ask him this ourselves, but maybe he doesn't want to like break it down because maybe it's like strategy, I guess, that you wouldn't want to reveal kind of like what it is that you're up to. But last year in the first half, when Matt Barnes was at his best, he was filling up the zone with fastballs. And then in the second half, he got away from that. And this year, he's gone back to just attacking with curveballs. And again, we've said this before, but he has 2 different curveball grips. He's got like the knuckle curve and like your traditional curveball. And at first, like in spring training, his velocity was down. And in April, he was like 92 to 94. All right. Well, his last time out, which was the save in the 3rd game, right? On Saturday, he got the 9th, saved the game on Saturday, and he was at 96. So if you have your fastball, I mean, Matt Barnes, like, last year, I think he was like 96, like he'd get up to 98. But even if at 96, that's a hell of a lot better than 92 to 94, best case scenario. If he's got 96, why is he still going with the curveball as the steady diet of curveballs over the steady diet of fastballs, which is what got him to the All-Star game last year.
Hard to say. There could be a number of reasons why he would do something like that. I mean, analytics play a huge role in a lot of things, a lot of decisions that are made that people don't realize. So, again, hard to say. His fastball, if I remember correctly, carries pretty well through the zone. So I think that's why he gets people underneath it a lot, rather than squaring it up. Because my fastball had a very low spin rate, so it would end up being where the bat is. Matt was different. But Matt's curveball is historically his best pitch. Coming up through the minors, it was just like everyone talked about Matt's curveball. If I had to put a guess on it, I would say that people do not hit really well off his curveball, and he feels good enough and confident to control it, and so he's going with it early and often because maybe he doesn't feel as confident in his fastball right now.
It reminds me of kind of pre-2021 Matt Barnes when he would lean, and I think there were times where he leaned too hard on that curveball, and that was some of the ups and downs we saw with him. But I don't think he's trying to recreate what he did a year ago. And I think part of it is hitters made the adjustment on the fastball, kind of attacking early in those spots. So I don't know. It seems like we're getting like a hybrid version of Matt Barnes. And I think that's kind of recreating himself. But I think he was part of the whole bullpen. The bullpen ERA in the series was 131. Like, besides Hansel Robles, we know, had an ugly moment there. Besides Nate Eovaldi, the starters weren't very good. Rich Hill did not have a very good day. Michael Walker was fine. Garrett Whitlock was not good. They found a way to bridge those games all the way through. So I think giving Matt Barnes that day in that third game, Alex Cora, listen, they didn't really have any other options, but I think part of it is Matt Barnes, that 96 has been more consistent lately. It's now partially rebuilding that confidence as well. And just having that moment in the ninth, like you said in the seventh against Houston, stringing a couple of those along. And I think, Pat, you made this point last time we talked. Just having a couple good in a row where nothing goes wrong, where there's no disaster, that can completely change where your head's at. Completely.
Yeah, I mean, I went through it over and over in my career. Even when I was really good down in AAA for Pawtucket, you have some things out there that go wrong, and shit happens. But you lose confidence, and that's what ultimately ended my career. I lost confidence in my fastball. But if you need a few good outings in a row. Matt Barnes was still a really good closer for us for 2.5 months last year.
Yeah.
And he's got the experience back there. He can do it. He has the stuff to do it. And he's probably leaning a lot on pitch call. You have to consider he's probably leaning a lot on Vasquez. He came up with Vasquez. He's been throwing to him for it feels like 10 years now. I could very easily, especially the personality that Matt is, I could very easily see him putting his complete trust in what Vasquez is calling behind the plate and then just going with it rather than doing any real thinking himself.
So I have the numbers here. Matt Barnes, opponents are hitting 333 with a 1021 OPS against the fastball. And against his breaking ball, 243 with a 624 OPS. Right-hander specifically, 208 with a 490 OPS. Lefties are still hitting the curveball, 308 with an 862 OPS. So lefties are still hitting the curveball.
But to your point, Jerry, you have to remember he's got two different ones. Right. He might be using the get me over more often with the lefties, and that's why they're putting the bat on a little bit better rather than to the righties. We're seeing a lot more than the curve.
And then you have the fastball. Lefties have a 667 OPS against his fastball. Righties have an 1104 OPS against his fastball.
I think we found the answer.
There it is.
I remember doing the same thing in Pittsburgh where guys were batting like 087 against my split, and they were batting like 312 on my fastball. I was like, well, never throwing that fucking thing again. Like, they were batting under 100 against my splitter. Why would I throw anything else?
Right. You know what always confused me is like this happened a lot with Eddie Rodriguez, and it made sense. It was like, all right, he has a fastball and a changeup. Because everyone's like, he doesn't throw his slider enough. Like, he needs like that third pitch. If he's going to be a starter in the American League East, like, you need a third pitch. And then he started throwing the slider a little bit more. And, obviously the results were there. But why is it? I guess if you're a reliever, then like you mentioned before with Matt Barnes, and you have like a plus pitch, like Matt Barnes' curveball is his best pitch. All right, well, what about when fucking lefties crush it? Like, why not have a third or even a fourth pitch? Like, I don't know, as a reliever, like I get that some guys, like if you're in the bullpen, maybe you have 98 in the tank. All right, well, guys can hit 98. So wouldn't it make 98 more effective if you had a curveball or a slider or a splitter or a changeup, or you run a two seam in there or a sinker? Like, why not as a reliever have more than 2 pitches? I feel like all these relievers are just like, yeah, I'm a 2-pitch guy, and go fuck yourself if you need a third one.
Well, the reality is a lot of the times you end up in the bullpen because you only have 2 pitches, or you can only consistently throw 2 pitches. If you have 3, like Garrett Whitlock, you see the path. They force you into that rotation spot. But usually, they knock you down. They usually try to let you go through the minors. Even some of those 2-pitch, more reliever mold guys early in the minors, they'll give them a chance to start and say, hey, can you piece it together? Can you figure it out? But reality is there's very few of those guys who can throw 3 on a somewhat regular basis.
Yeah. But I mean, like, there's got to be a third pitch that, even if it's dog shit, to at least give the hitter something else to think about, where you're not up there with a 50-50 chance of guessing correctly.
I think that's where the changeup has come in this year with Matt Barnes, right?
Yeah, I had a slider in my back pocket always. Christian Vasquez liked to use that a bit more than I'd like to use it, and it got hit pretty hard. But I'm sure Matt has a pitch he can throw. You're probably not going to see it hardly ever. Most guys can throw. I can throw 7 pitches if you really want me to, but they're not all going to be very good. My slider was used almost only when I needed, like, say it's a 3-2 count. The guy keeps fouling it off. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to throw a fucking slider over the dick. And he's gonna see spin. He's gonna freak him out because he's annoyed at the fuck's coming. And then he's just gonna sit there, and it's gonna be strike 3. It happened almost every time I threw it. But again, to Tyler's point, Matt's. I'm 31. Matt's 32 years old. He's probably not going to redefine himself at that age. And most guys that are able to redefine themselves at that age are guys like Greg Maddux, who can just pretty much, he's a freak. He has what he has. You're seeing what Matt has. Maybe he can mix in the third pitch every now and again. That if they, maybe that was the big thing when I was playing, was everyone was going to start throwing cutters because of Mariano Rivera. So, but like, if everyone could throw Mariano Rivera's cutter, it's stupid. I'm just making a pitch move a little. Like, I can't do that. Either I'm trying to make it break it big time, or that's all I got. So third pitch is unrealistic for most guys. And also, when you're only throwing 1 inning, you don't have that much time to mix it in. Like, when push comes to shove, you're going to go, especially when you're throwing 1 inning, you're going to go to your 2 best guys. And you're going to go fastball and whatever your other pitch is, because that's what you got. And when it's 2-1, you're like, well, I could throw this dog shit slider I have in my back pocket because he won't expect it. But if he happens to expect it, you're in some trouble. So you're like, I'll throw my curveball. So it's just not, it doesn't need to be in the cards for relievers.
Yeah, I think another one of those guys was Brandon Workman.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Ugh. White Sox just scored a second run in the 8th inning against the Yankees.
Oh, not another bullpen collapse.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Can we, I don't want to talk too much about it, but what are our thoughts here with this whole Josh Donaldson stuff?
I
didn't think it was that bad.
Well, he shouldn't have said it, like, in the context that it was used. Like, Tim Anderson called himself today's Jackie Robinson, not because of race. He said it because it was when he hit the homer off of the fuck. I'm friends with him. What the fuck's his name? Brad Keller. He hit the home run off of Brad Keller, and then
bat throw.
Fired the bat. And then everyone was like, dude, chill out, blah, blah, blah. And Tim Anderson was like, I don't hit a lot of home runs, so I'm going to celebrate them when I do hit them. And I love that logic. And he said he was just getting like absolutely crucified by like other players and like media, fans, whoever. So the comparison wasn't like I'm breaking the race barrier. It was like I'm at the forefront of like let's actually have fun playing baseball. And according to Donaldson, I haven't talked to him about it, but according to Donaldson, he said he had called him that in years past and like joked about it. I think like because this all started at the beginning of the series, like Donaldson like slapped a hard tag on him, and clearly Tim Anderson didn't like that, and then there was like an issue. Now's probably not the time to like joke around with Tim Anderson when he clearly isn't cool with you right now. So I don't know. I mean, I felt like if it was a joke that they had used prior and he was cool with it, it's weird timing to kind of like not be cool with it, I guess, or I don't know. But
it just felt like the way Liam Hendricks kind of brought it up too. It was like, whatever he said, he was like, when you're known for not being cool with someone, do you really have inside jokes with them? And that's where I kind of sat there and it was like, Josh Donaldson said he had referenced, it had been a joke in the past. Well, obviously there's a part of this story that's missing here.
Yeah. And they should have asked Tim, like, did you guys joke about that in the past? Because if he says no, then either that puts Donaldson in a position to say he's lying, or Donaldson's lying, and because that context, I guess, matters. Like if it's something that you guys have joked about in the past, I think it's weird to get offended by it later just because you have a beef over a tag. Like the beef wasn't about the name, it was about the tag. So I don't know. I think more context is needed. But I don't know. I didn't think that it was Donaldson being racist. I think,
and this might be an unpopular take. I don't know. I was watching a lot of stuff on Twitter today, but I think calling yourself the modern day Jackie Robinson because you're gonna pimp home runs to bring fun back, I think is an outrageous take. What Jackie Robinson had to go through to bridge a gap into the race barrier is not by no means what you are going through to throw your bat in the air after you hit a home run in May.
Yeah, it's not the right comparison.
I think it's outrageous. And if I'm not Jackie Robinson, if I'm Tim Anderson, I say that I would expect to get a ton of shit for this. Like I would expect like guys be all right, Jackie. Like that, things like that happen. I remember when Clint Frazier was down in AAA.
Oh shit! Tim Anderson 3-run home run.
Oh my god!
Oh no!
Please tell me he pimped that thing.
Yeah, I hope he threw it into the fucking Yankee dugout.
I lost my train of thought, but I think it was an outrageous take. Oh, Clint Frazier down AAA. He wanted to wear like number 7.
Oh no!
He wanted to, and people gave him a ton of shit for that. Like, no, you can't wear number 7 with the Yankees. What are you? You're not Mickey Mantle. Like, it was just like certain things like that if you're gonna do those things, you still might be a good person. Like, but I'm fucking make
loser. This fucking loser in a Mark Teixeira jersey just fired it into the infield.
Oh, are you watching it?
Yeah.
Any weird looks?
They haven't showed anyone in the Yankee dugout or
anything. I thought it was really interesting how it felt like immediately the response, like Yasmani Grandal kind of holding him there and what played out before. I don't know. It at least the way Tim Anderson reacted, it seemed like it was the first time he had come across it. And, can't put yourself in his shoes, with that context and how that stuff goes. But yeah, I don't know. It feels like we just don't know the entire story or whatever it may be, but I have a feeling it's going to come out over the coming days. There's going to be more digging into that, especially now they got the MLB investigation going as well. If Donaldson ends up getting suspended, like that's going to be a whole train of different stuff coming their way.
Yeah. And also the context that I think we're looking for as well is, Aaron Boone didn't really defend Josh. And if he knows more and that's why he's not defending Josh, then certainly something that we would need to know. But I've never heard a bad word about Josh Donaldson in when I played baseball. Like, yeah, he was a little bit out there, but like it was never like a guy that people didn't like. At least not in my world. So I just don't expect. I certainly not making. I don't think it's making a race thing.
Yeah,
but
I didn't think it was a race thing, but I do think it was stupid to do that, knowing the tensions were high between the two teams and those two guys specifically. Like, I get it if he was trying to like lighten the mood between them and be like, "Hey, remember that joke from a few years ago?" Like, it's just, I don't know. It was poor timing. I wouldn't have done it, but I don't believe that there was like racist intent behind it. Like, no. I just don't think that.
Well, let's call a spade a spade here. He did it. He can use it as a joke now. He did it because tensions were high.
Yes.
It was a zinger to Tim Anderson. Of course it was. He called himself Jackie Robinson. that is going to ruffle feathers no matter which way you slice it because of what Jackie did for the game of baseball. And there's no one today, not even as a collective, all of the 750 Major League Baseball players, they're not doing as a collective what Jackie Robinson did for baseball. So you're going to ruffle feathers when you say stuff like that. Tim's no stranger to trying to ruffle feathers. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
But I think Josh gave him just want to zing him a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't think no racist intent.
I think he was trying to just be like, hey, remember that joke? Like, can we move past this? And I don't know, but I guess it does need more context.
Probably.
I think I'm curious, and it hasn't happened yet, and I think that also speaks to it. There hasn't been a teammate that's come out. Anybody could come out of the woodworks. He's been around, in a few different spots at this point, and said something like, "Oh, this guy, he's kind of racist," or whatever it may be. In a situation like this, it seemed like it would have been easy for guys to pile on Josh Donaldson. We really haven't seen that yet.
No,
I didn't like Aaron Boone's response to it.
What did he say?
And he just said he wasn't there, some shit like that. But if I'm Josh, I wouldn't have done these things or something to that effect. And it was like Alex Cora would never react that way. And that's the only thing I'm skeptical about. The backstory here. Is there more we don't know? Because what Josh did, if I'm the manager, I'm coming out and being like, he wasn't being racist. He wasn't doing that. He was giving the guy a zinger because he called himself Jackie Robinson. Like, it's an easy response. It's not like he dropped the N-bomb on the guy or something that you're like, yeah, okay, he fucked up. I think I just don't like the way Aaron Boone handled it. If I'm the player in the clubhouse right now, I'm a little pissed that my manager didn't defend me in the media.
Yeah, I think it's just like, people do not want to, even if it's being interpreted that way by some people on Twitter. I don't think that anyone wants to be the guy that sticks out their neck and is like, you know what? Like, I have his back. Especially when I think Tony La Russa straight up said that he was being racist.
Yeah, that was like
shocking.
The exact comment.
Like, he said he was racist. Yeah, right? Anyways.
Yeah, anyway.
Perfectly timed 3-run home run for Tim Anderson.
What's the score?
5-0.
5-0. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
2 Yankees losses in one day, potentially?
Yeah, that'd be nuts.
That would be nuts. It's almost 20% of their total losses on the year.
Yeah. Well,
don't forget, and the Blue Jays and Orioles also, or the Blue Jays and the Rays also lost today as well.
It's almost like what I said is the truth, that the Yankees are not as good as they played for the first 5 weeks, and the Red Sox are not as bad as they played for the first 5 weeks. I'm not going to sit here and say that after 162 games, the Red Sox are going to have a better record, but the Yankees are not an 750 winning percentage team, and the Red Sox are not a 340 winning percentage team. So we'll see how it shakes out. And I tweeted this the other day because I was, I'm still not going to say it, but I'm enthusiastic about the Red Sox playing better baseball. And I have all these Yankee fans tweeting at me like, oh, 12 games back and standings and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, you should know better than anybody, Yankee fans. 4 out of the last 6 years, you've played in the wild card game. I actually like playing in the wild card game. That was fun. That was some fun fucking shit last year. So you've now added a playoff team. So that increases the Red Sox odds of making it to the playoffs. All these people dancing on the Red Sox grave. What are you doing?
Dude,
You're gonna look very dumb.
Did you watch last season? Like, talk about being in reverse roles. Like, the Red Sox were where the Yankees were at, feeling like one of the best teams in baseball. Like, no matter what, every break went their way, whether it was the Yankees crapping the bed against them consistently, whatever it may be. And then they went through hell for 2 months, or really 2.5 months during, the end of the summer. The Yankees were 500 in July. Red Sox are 3 games under 500, and it's May 22nd.
They are 3 games under 500. They are now +1 run differential on the year. We're in the positives.
Third best in the AL East.
In addition to that, guess if I were to tell you right now, how many games back of a playoff spot do you think the Red Sox are, Pat?
3.
3. The Red Sox are 3 games back of a playoff spot. You know how many people said the season was over because of where they were at last week? they're 3 games back of a playoff spot. And I get it. It's more about how many teams are in front of you than how many games back you are. But to still be able to sit here and say, after the way that this fucking team started their goddamn season, that you're only 3 games back of a playoff spot, I think there was a lot of premature grave dancing happening as it pertains to the Boston Red Sox. There was.
And I think the other thing is a lot of people have seen, they haven't gained a ton of ground in the division. We get it.
Fuck the division. We want the wild card.
And in the wild card, before this Rangers series, there were 2 teams ahead of you, pushing you all the way back. The Rangers were ahead of you in this. And guess what? The Mariners were ahead of you in this. Over the last, 10 days or so, you've kicked both of them back. The only team that's ahead of you for that wild card spot, the Blue Jays are obviously holding on to the 3rd one right now. The White Sox are the only team in front of you in that order. You're going to face them right now for 3 games.
It's true. It's a good point. It's a good fucking point, Tyler.
Just saying.
Not that I want to stoop to the loser level of Yankee fans who are scoreboard watching and standings boasting in fucking May. But you do it. I mean, the White Sox are going to be one of those teams that are in it the whole way. You do want to be cognizant of the fact that, hey, like, we can do some head-to-head damage here against a team that we expect to be in it till the very end. You want to handle those baseball games, even if they do come in May. But also batter the fuck up. And we're not just talking about pancakes. Peacock is taking brunch to the big leagues and putting a new spin on America's favorite pastime. Watch exclusive baseball games every week with MLB Sunday Leadoff. All games are available nationwide with no local market blackouts, so you can swing into action wherever you are, no matter what. And another home run, when you subscribe to Peacock, you'll get access to live sports like Sunday Night Football, Premier League, golf, and WWE. Plus, hit movies and shows. Download the Peacock app to take the game on the go or kick back and stream on your favorite devices. Don't miss exciting matchups all season long featuring exclusive pre- and post-game coverage with host Ahmed Fareed and Jason Benetti with the play-by-play. Change up your weekend with MLB Sunday Leadoff only on Peacock. Go to peacocktv.com/MLB to sign up now. Yeah. So I just want to say that if you are, and by the way, Yankee fans, you guys are fucking pussies. Pussies. You know how many people they're still I lost over 100 followers today because the Red Sox walked off and I was posting a lot about the Red Sox positivity, and then the Yankees lost. They're about to lose again. I'll probably wake up, lose another 100. They celebrated their World Series in mid-May. Like, you need to understand this. Yankee fans haven't had anything to celebrate or feel happy about in a long, long time, to the point where they were celebrating their championship in mid-May. And now that the Red Sox are playing better, and now that the Yankees are losing a couple games here, like, maybe they're not going to run the table and go fucking 150-12. They don't like that, and they don't want to see the reality. And the reality is that the Red Sox were not going to finish last in the American League East this year. They were going to come up and maybe make a run at a little playoff wildcard spot here. And maybe the Yankees, like I said earlier, are not a 750 winning percentage baseball team. Maybe they're not. I don't think that they are. And they don't like not having that invincibility. They don't want to see us having fun now and them not having fun at the same time. So they're unfollowing. They're heading for the exits in droves.
And listen, I don't want to wish injury on anyone. I want to make that clear. But like the Red Sox have caught bad breaks, they go around. It's a 162-game season. Aroldis Chapman's now dealing with the problem. They just lost Chad Green. Things are going to happen. You won't stay healthy. Everything's not going to go your way like it has through the first month and a half of the year. Just like everything that went against the Red Sox eventually flipped. It always ends up somewhere in the middle. And I think that's what we're going to see over the coming months. The Yankees, they're fortunate. They built up that big division lead. We saw how that can benefit you last year. But anyone dancing and celebrating, that's just, you're showing the pain from last year's wild card game. It's clear. It's obvious. It still hurts. It's okay to say it hurts. There's nothing wrong with that. Just say it.
Pain from last year's wild card game, the pain from the Astros in 2019, the pain from the Red Sox stomping on your dicks in 2018 en route to a championship, the pain from 2017 against the Astros. I mean, the wild card losses, they're probably still mad about 2004. I would be, but hey, it is what it is. I'm not going to say it. Jake, are you going to say it?
Definitely not saying it.
No, Jake's never going to say it. I mean, he might say it on June 28th, where I think we're all going to say it on June 28th. But as of right now, like, we're not going to say it because we're going to stay humble. The Yankee fans don't know how to do that. They don't know how to do that. They want to celebrate now because they don't know how to properly celebrate. Pat, where were you when the Red Sox clinched the division in 2016? Were you a September call-up? Were you on the roster?
I had been traded to the Minnesota Twins.
Shout out Fernando Abad.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Why?
Well, was it either him or Robbie Scott in the bullpen? Which one would you going to prefer?
Yeah,
I guess. I would have rather you have been there.
Listen, so would I.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did get some money out of that, though.
You got money for being traded?
You know, a playoff bonus.
Oh.
Yeah.
What was it?
I don't remember. I think maybe $3,000, something like that.
You got $3,000 for the Red Sox making the playoffs for what?
It depends how far you go. So they went to the ALDS.
But who voted like?
I don't know.
We gotta break off Pat a piece of this.
I was more than likely it was veteran pitchers, so like guys like David Price and Rick Porcello. If I had to guess, I obviously was not sitting in on the meetings.
Yeah,
but usually the veteran pitchers vote on the pitchers that played.
Price is that dude though.
Yeah,
like
and I was good friends with Price and Rick, so like I had somewhat of a relationship with those guys, so I was hopeful they'd throw me some money, but and they did.
I was gonna keep this a private moment, but Price actually reached out when he saw me on MLB Network.
What a guy!
Yeah,
someone who gets a lot of garbage criticism for the role when he was one of the most important leaders on this team in that clubhouse, and people don't want to give him that respect. Unfortunately, a lot of sports talk radio people don't want to give him that respect, but I think if you were paying close enough attention, what he meant to those guys, how they looked at him, says a lot.
How many teams does David Price have to be on where all of his teammates rave about how great of a teammate he is before the media is like, hey, maybe this David Price guy isn't so bad, you know? Like Tampa, Toronto, Boston, I mean, obviously the Dodgers now, but like Detroit.
The money he gave to those minor leaguers, like back when the COVID and everything was going on, like with the World Series ring and everything, like, dude, stand up again and again. And I know people get caught up in that Eck moment, but a lot of guys backed him. The
moment wasn't great, but
it still, even in that moment, it brought guys together on that team. It was sticking up for someone. Like, I know people don't like that, but sometimes how guys feel in that clubhouse is different than how fans feel in that perception of broadcasters and what it may be. If the guys in that clubhouse were looking at him and saying, like, he's sticking up for a guy in Eddie, you know, coming back and trying to get right,
that's how the team
wrong. Felt.
He was wrong. Like, he shouldn't have done what he did. But I mean, that was one blip on the radar of an otherwise spotless resume of being a good person and teammate. Mm-hmm. And definitely. I get that he was trying to be a good teammate, but like Eck's not the guy that
exactly.
Say, like, you can't be like, oh, Eck forgot how, you know, good he was, or how hard this game is, or something like that. Like, Eck fucking went through the grinder, man. But that, I mean, I think maybe that someday, maybe when Price calls it a career and he wants to do like a look back on it type interview, I'd like to think that I'd be in consideration for that. Because that was the craziest thing. Like, we had a really good relationship when he was in Tampa and then Toronto, and then he signed with the Red Sox, and then it was just like all business. And I forget who I asked about that. Was it Damon or Lester? I think it was Lester when we interviewed Lester for Section 10. Like, I asked him, like, why is it that like it's just all fucking business here in Boston, and guys like will go from here to somewhere else and they just have like more vibrant personalities, and it looks like they have more fun somewhere else. Like Mookie was more buttoned up here, and then he goes to the Dodgers and he has this more vibrant personality. It looks like he's having more fun. So I mean that was never more apparent than with Price. I mean, like he was a fun-loving guy in Tampa and Toronto and Detroit, and then he comes here and it was just he did not have a good time. And I get like the media was part of that. But yeah, I mean, maybe someday we'll get to sit down and talk to him about it. That's like an interview that I thought was a slam dunk gonna happen. The second that he signed in Boston, I was like, fuck yeah, like we're gonna get a Price interview. Just didn't happen. But no. Do you have any experience with Price in your time in Boston, Pat?
Yeah, David was cool. Yeah, I had right towards the end of spring training before I got sent down. He was talking about good teammate. He bought me an Xbox so I could play Call of Duty. What was the Zombies?
Yes,
he wanted me to play Zombies with him and Joe Kelly.
He bought you an Xbox?
Yeah, so it was technically for me and BJ because me and BJ were roommates, so we were going to complete the foursome for them to play Zombies with. I actually gave him shit for it because we were in the training room after both of us had pitched, and he was like, "Oh well, spring training's ending soon. I got to get you this Xbox soon so you can play with me in the season." And he was insinuating that I was not making the team out of spring training, which obviously everyone knew I wasn't making the team out of spring training. But I was like, "What are you trying to say, Dave? Are you saying I'm not going to make the team?" And I hadn't been officially sent down yet. And David felt so bad for saying that, even though obviously everyone knew. But I gave him a little shit for that. So he ended up buying me a few games along with the Xbox. So he was an awesome, awesome dude. Like just, the X stuff, I know I've told Jared this stuff. X wasn't super popular in the clubhouse. So I wasn't surprised to see something like that happen. It's certainly not the way to handle it, but I wasn't surprised to see it. But he was as good of a guy as it gets. I have not a single, and you talk about the way people looked at him, like I was playing the big leagues. I was a pretty good baseball player myself, and like when he would be like, "Oh shit, that's fucking David Price." And there was only two other guys on the team that I would do that with, and it was David Ortiz and Dustin Pedroia. Everyone else, although good players, he has that holy shit moment type guy, and you have that on your team is ridiculous.
It's just like I think we didn't get to see. I think true prime David Price. Obviously, the playoff run we got to see some of that, but when he was that guy in Detroit, and Tampa, and Toronto, even like we're talking about one of the best pitchers of his generation, and there was really no conversation about it. But yeah, going back to the Ek thing, I think it was proper intentions, just the wrong execution. You didn't go 100%. About it the right way. I don't think he ever meant to it to go the way it did. He's trying to do the right thing for a teammate. Just you learn, you live and you learn. You just don't handle it that way.
And the thing with Boston being all business is the Red Sox fans are different than the rest. I mean, Trevor Story here, he's never been booed by his home crowd before. Like, it's everywhere else you go, with the exception of the Bronx and probably Queens. It's just not the same. Like people love you still. Like I remember walking home after my bad outing against the Angels, and I was walking on Lansdowne, and I actually put my hood up in hopes no one would recognize me because I thought that someone might try to hurt me. Boston's just they have
6'6".
Yeah, I know. Oh, I know. But Boston just breeds a different type of fan. Boston is so into it, and that's what we talked about, with Matt Barnes earlier. If we're going to harp on the bad outings, you got to talk about the good ones too. Otherwise, you just come off as an ungrateful son of a bitch. And I think that gets to some guys. I think that got to David a little bit here. People were concerned when he was coming here. He was like one of the few big social media presences in baseball at the time.
Yeah,
and
I remember that.
Yeah, and like you interact with fans, Boston fans. If you better be pitching well if you're going to interact with them because they're going to motherfuck you.
You got asked about it. Like that's why he name dropped me at the press conference, was because someone asked him about, I think it was Tomasi. Like, you're big on social media. How have the interactions changed since you signed here? And we became, like, I don't want to say friends, but like friendly, because I used to shit on him when he was with Tampa. And then I think he just kind of realized like I wasn't being malicious, and then he was in on the joke, and then he ended up following me, and then that's how we connected. But yeah, like he used to be huge on social media. Now he's just, I guess, is jaded the word?
He might be.
That's probably the best way to put it.
I remember Joe Kelly telling me about his time in St. Louis, where like he'd have a bad outing, and the next day the fans would all be like patting him on the back, being like, "You can do it, Joe." You come to Boston after a bad one, they're like, "Yo, fuck yourself, man." You know,
just figured that's how everybody was.
It's just so different. Boston and the Boston, Bronx, and Queens. And for those of you who don't know, I'm talking about Queens. It's the Mets. It's just different types of fan base. You're only as good as your last appearance in all of those cities for the most part, unless you're a beloved player like Xander Bogaerts or Rafael Devers right now, John Lester. David never got the beloved status in Boston, so you're just as good as what you've done for me lately. So it's just a difficult, but if you can embrace it, like I thought it was funny walking off the mountain, people booing the hell out of me. I was like, now maybe people can say they did this.
Yeah, I feel like that's partly on him, but I can't necessarily blame him for it because I think I would have handled it the exact same way.
Yeah,
like I want to be loved. Like I don't want to. Like
everyone does.
Yeah, like I think like at Barstool, those fans, they fucking hate everyone that works there. So like if you're a personality there and it's like being a player on the Barstool team and the fans just fucking boo you all the time, eventually you're like, fuck you guys.
Exactly.
Like
yeah,
that like, I
yourself.
get it. And I'm sure Price felt the same way where, you know, you have your people that you support you no matter what. And that was like the Section 10 fans. Like, yeah, like we ride with you no matter what. And then like you just have like the core fans of the team that are like, fuck you. And you're like, all right, fuck you too. Like, So yeah, that's kind of how it feels.
Yeah, people don't realize that being a human, you're not supposed to be doing what we do. Like you're not. No one is like really have the. Some people do have the DNA, but it's not like natural to have the DNA to be able to go do something in front of 40,000 people who are going to react to what you do. Like I remember my sister used to tell me that at one point she made a very bad mistake by telling me her job was worse than mine. It was more stressful. And I was like, okay, we'll bring 40,000 people to your next presentation. And if you suck, they're going to boo you. And let's see how you fucking like it.
They're going to boo you. And then they're going to tweet at you to kill yourself.
Yep.
And then they're going to tweet at your mom and say, I hope your son gets cancer. And then let me know if your job is more pressure packed.
Yeah, humans are not supposed to be doing that type of stuff. It's not a natural thing to be able to withstand that type of pressure. That's why we marvel at the guys that do such a great job and the guys that can do it on the big stage on a consistent basis because you're not supposed to be fucking doing it.
Yeah.
So it's just people forget that sometimes, and then you add on top of it a ruthless fan base like they are in Boston, and you're gonna get some people that can't fucking do it. It's tough.
And I think ultimately, for better or worse, it's what made David Price become what David Price was in 2018, where, you know, I hold all the cards now. Mm-hmm. Like, that's what pushed him into that, you know, through the playoff struggles and whatever it may have been, which, you know, they were justified, but also at times I think people they forget 2008 when they look back on David Price's career and some of that stuff. But that's what led to that moment. And for better or for worse, it gave him probably one of the highest moments of his entire career.
Yeah. I mean, I remember playing in Minnesota. I didn't even think any fans were watching the game. They were like, those fans, although they're very nice people, I could have been doing anything out there. I don't think any of them would have known. Like it's just so different than anywhere else you could possibly imagine. You know, if you're not playing in one of those three cities, you just don't get it. You just don't get what it's like to be on those teams. But when you're good, you're a fucking god, and that's like what you aspire. Because if you can walk around that city, walk around Boston, being like the Red Sox, I mean, it's got to be a tremendous, tremendous feeling to have been like Mookie Betts, to have been John Lester. It's got to be so fucking cool to do that. But
yeah, yeah, David Ortiz,
yeah, Dustin Pedroia, like beloved players.
Yeah, that must be cool. But yeah, I mean, I like, that's why I would never get on David Price for being crabby, because I get it. Like, that's also my personality, and that's how I felt a lot of times over there. Like, I was like, no, I don't want to talk. No, I don't want to do this fucking video. No, I don't want to do this other show. No, I don't want to go to this meeting. Like, I was bitter. I was bitter a lot. And it was because it's like, what is all this for? if the fan reaction is going to be boo, fuck you, no matter what, then what's the point?
Like you turned on the radio and they were diagnosing him with medical issues, with medical disorders, mental health stuff. Like trying to tell this guy what issues he has, whatever it may be, because he didn't look himself that day on the mound, or he was slightly off, or he wasn't pitching to the top tier Cy Young level he had in the his previous years. Yeah,
those are wild times, man. The David Price era in Boston was a wild time. I don't want to say like I'm glad it's over, because I mean I still love David Price. I enjoyed watching him pitch here, but it was exhausting. It was a full-time job having to defend David Price year after year after year, which is why like 2018 was just so fucking great in its own. But the fact that he had so much to do with it in the end was just, I could have died. I could have died the night that, after the parade. After the parade, I could have died, and who fucking cares? I would have been so happy. I've been so happy to die after that parade. That would have been amazing. Anyways, I don't know how we got off on a David Price tangent, but I'm glad that we got there. I'm always down to talk some DP. You know what I mean, Pat?
Oh, I know what you mean, big guy.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Remember that girl?
Yeah.
Yeah. You ever see her anymore?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me neither.
Crazy.
Yeah. Good times though.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We have some good times together, don't we, Pat?
We do. It's actually only like a few times. Like we've hung out, let's say, and when we've seen each other in person, has been like 10 times.
Yeah, maybe.
And listen, everyone's better than the next.
Everyone's a good time. When did you say you were coming here again?
I was actually hopeful to come up for the Chicago White Sox series, which is
wait,
wasn't that
they already came here?
I know that's where the original. That was my original goal. It was to come for that one, but I obviously never made it. I forget which weekend we picked. It was after Memorial Day weekend, though.
The Orioles are home this weekend. I think it was this weekend.
Was it? No, I wasn't going to come up Memorial Day weekend.
All right. Well, the Orioles
because we wanted to do
5 games.
Yeah, but we wanted to do an in-person podcast when I'm up there, and
the Red Sox are not home again until June 17th that weekend.
Oh, that's a tough road series. Jeez.
Is that Cardinals when they come back?
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah. They are in Oakland the weekend of the 3rd. They're in Seattle the weekend of the 10th. Then St. Louis is here. Then they're in Cleveland. They're only here for 1 weekend in June, which feels like a total waste.
We had picked it's like the first home series in July, which is the Yankees.
Yeah, July 8th.
Yeah. It's far away. I feel like I need to come up between then, but
July 8th is a long time from now, Pat.
I know. Maybe it's not a home series. Maybe I just come up and hang.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we do like a watch party or something.
Yeah.
We can do like a watch party at a bar around here. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Wouldn't that be fun?
I love watch parties. They're actually my favorite form of. Yeah, I know you talk about live shows. Like it's like my favorite form of them, because sometimes like the live show, like you feel like you're supposed to be entertaining these people for 2 consecutive hours or however long we're up there for, and that's not the easiest thing to do sometimes.
Yeah, it's really not. I do like the watch parties.
Watch parties is like you can mingle with a lot of the fans too. Like you get to actually talk to people.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone wants to take a shot with me, which that's my thing because of you.
Because you're blaming me for your alcoholism?
I'm blaming you for everyone knowing about my alcoholism.
Not very humble.
To be fair, the first live show I ever did with Jared, I would say for the last 30 minutes of the show, I was asking people for a screwdriver the entire time. No one would get me one. I don't understand why not.
Maybe if you had pitched better, you would have gotten as many as you wanted.
Wow.
I thought
definitely not.
I mean, I'm just saying. Like, I'm not saying. I'm me personally. I'm not saying you didn't pitch well. I'm just saying that if you pitched better, you would have gotten all the screwdrivers you wanted.
But you're insinuating that I didn't pitch well.
No. I think you could have pitched good, but what if you pitched great?
It's a tough sell. This is a tough sell, Jared.
This is a tough sell for Pat.
No, I think it's a tough sell for you.
No.
Oh, man.
That was uncalled for.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Tyler.
Well, as someone who's been shitting on you lately, I'm starting to feel bad. So
Listen,
you need someone in your corner.
Listen, Pat. Can we talk about this for a second?
I love to have a conversation about that. This
Let's
is
have a
one of the reasons we
conversation
need
about
Pete back. Because me and Pete were really bonding well. He was on my side a lot.
I'm on your side all the time.
Okay. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation.
Name one time that I haven't been on your side.
About 14 seconds ago.
Okay. Nope. So I said Pat Light, my favorite reliever. He was good in Boston. What was his FIP?
I can help you.
You
Give me
can't
1 second
ask the question and then laugh afterwards.
I'm not laughing.
He's excited. He's excited to share this.
It was what's his FIP?
Okay.
Immediately giggling.
Do we want the Red Sox FIP or the career FIP?
The Red Sox FIP.
Are you guys sitting down?
Yeah, what is it?
1365.
See? The peripherals were good, dude.
Almost 10 runs.
Yeah.
Lower.
You were way better than people give you credit for.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think if I go back in time, the one trade I would take back is Pat Light for Fernando Abad. I would have kept you.
23.6 hits per 9.
But again, that's because it's inflated due to small sample size. I mean, you look at that FIP and Pat Light is 10 runs better than people want to talk about. Who's to say this guy couldn't have had the same cachet as Mookie Betts in Boston?
Who's to say? Because I am an electric factory in personality. If I had a little bit of a role there and people wanted to start talking to me in the media, and you start seeing this personality, I mean, who's not going to love me?
Potential fun fact.
Great.
Potential fun fact. Let's hear it.
Home runs per 9, 6.8 from Pat Light. Also the same as his K per 9, 6.8.
This is just Boston?
This is just Boston.
Okay. Good stuff.
Humble.
Stay humble.
Gotta stay humble.
Jake, you humble right now?
I'm humble. I think we got to start drizzling some ketchup.
Yeah, we do actually. All right, let's take
Jake.
a vote on the Klark's Ketchup Series MVP, brought to you by Klark's Ketchup. Drizzle that ketchup. Head on down to your local grocery store and pick you up a bottle of Klark's Ketchup. The Klark's Ketchup Series MVP, I'll give the first vote to Pat Light.
You know, I wanted to be, you remember last week, I like to make a splash with my picks. I don't like to be, Trevor Story is an obvious selection. I was really hoping for another Matt Barnes outing. I can't make the splash pick with just one appearance. Although I'm very happy with what he did this weekend. Trevor Story was the guy's outrageous.
Mm-hmm.
The guy is outrageous right now. And listen, historically, he did not do well against me. So I know that. I know when he was coming, it was a big part of it. And, people were talking about that a lot, about how his confidence is going to be with, the number one podcast for the Red Sox is co-hosted by a guy that just gave him hell in Double-A. But he seemed to have come around since last couple of weeks. So I'm pretty pleased about that.
Tyler?
Yeah, I'm going to have to go Trevor John Story. Simply I think he set the tone for this entire series. The 3 homers on the first night, grand slam in the second game. Should have had the game-winning home run today if it wasn't for some of the, extra stuff that took place. It led us to the Franchy grand slam, so I was thankful. And I think defensively, he's getting better and better at second base. Turned a beautiful double play today with Sandra Bogarts. I think that combination is getting better. But I do think my honorable mention would be Franchy, because I think that in game 3, that triple isn't getting talked about enough, along with today's grand slam.
It's true. It's a good pick.
Thank you.
Jake?
Yeah, I'm going Trevor Story.
That's a good pick. Good pick, Jake.
Definitely shout out Franchy, though. It's tough to hit a walk-off grand slam to complete a sweep and not win series MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Jared?
So I guess I guess it doesn't matter. Like my vote doesn't matter. That's already 3 for Trevor Story. So
Yeah,
it does not matter if I vote
doesn't
for
matter.
someone else. They can't win. Trevor Story can't lose. But you know what? How many runs did he drive in? 13.
Yes.
Yes. I regret to inform you. It's true. Trevor Story. Yeah, I'd vote for Trevor Story here. Dan, I want to say Dan O'Rourke. Dan Rourke. He works for John Boy. He said, I tweeted out the Yankees lose video. He said, genuine lighthearted question here, Jared. Does it not feel silly posting this being under 510 games back? No, not at all. No.
Not even a little bit.
No, because it doesn't feel like that at all.
No. Any intelligent baseball fan watched the Red Sox in the first month and a half and knew this team was a good team. They just couldn't put it together at that moment. To think that this Red Sox team does not have an opportunity here to play well for the next 4 months and have a chance at this division, I think you'd be an idiot to think that.
The run differential tells you it all. They went through all those brutal moments and they're back positive once again. Those games, it was just end of game, bullpen disasters, offense not showing up and giving you much, but they were in every single one of these games. Now you have the offense doing what it's supposed to do, the foundation of your team, putting you ahead, giving that bullpen breathing room, taking some of that weight off the starters. The starting rotation is going to be better than what we've seen the last week. So perfect. The bats carried you when they're supposed to. Now the rotation can step up again.
And the bullpen carried. I mean, what was that ERA, Tyler?
It was 1-3-1.
1-3-1. The bullpen. I mean, you talk about drizzling ketchup on people. Now we should be fucking.
Whoa! Who the fuck said we were drizzling the ketchup on people?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Let's put it on the whole fucking bullpen. A 1-3-1 over the course, and everyone's talking about how shitty this bullpen is, and they go 1-3-1.
Who's talking about that?
The entire city of Boston.
Who said the bullpen's shitty?
Everyone.
We just don't have a closer. We just don't have a closer.
And I think a lot of times when people see that, they throw it on the whole bullpen. But like John Schreiber, I think someone else who deserves somewhat of an honorable mention, working 3 straight days in a row and giving the Red Sox what he's given them. Ridiculously good find. And obviously came to the organization last year. Throwing 93 to 95 with that arm angle. Please. Big John Schreiber guy.
Yeah, fucking shout out Schreiber. Got the Instagram follow the other day. Followed me back. Maybe we'll get him on the podcast. We haven't had anyone on the podcast yet because the Red Sox suck. Now that they start winning some games, maybe we can get some goddamn interviews on this fucking thing. Yeah, I mean, listen, Pat, you can explain it better than anyone. Guys don't want to do podcasts when the team's not doing well, when you're not doing well personally. And up until a few days ago, I mean, there were 3 players that were doing well. So now, we got more guys that are doing well. Maybe we'll get you a little Trevor Story interview. I wouldn't hate that. Actually, I got the chance to talk to him on Friday. No. Saturday. Yeah, Friday. Because it was, the Thursday was a 3-homer game.
Correct.
Yeah, it was the day after the 3-homer game. So I talked to him on Friday.
Yeah.
Is this the thing you were planning to reveal?
Oh, that.
Don't mean to bring that back up.
Yeah.
So I promised the people.
I did promise, but I was talking to some people in the know, let's say, and got to talking about contracts, stuff like that, and I was talking about. I was like, Nate's up at the end of the year. JD's up at the end of the year. Obviously, you get the Bogart situation. I was like, you got to keep somebody. And they were like, Bogey Stan. And I was like, why do you seem so sure about that? And this individual said, he's Stan.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is, after a weekend of some of the best Red Sox baseball in recent memory, that is along the top of my highlights for this weekend.
So, I mean, I don't wanna like
This isn't a
get
report.
everyone yeah, it's not a report. There's no deal in place. I don't know if they're talking. It's more of just like a vibe check type deal. Like when Heyman wants to tweet out, oh, fucking, I talked to Xander Bogaerts' best friend, and his best friend said that he's not going to stay with the Red Sox. All right, well, I fucking talked to someone too, and they said that he is, so fuck off.
I like your sources.
Yeah. Listen, who knows if it's going to happen? I'm telling you this because I don't want you to think that it's a foregone conclusion that he's leaving, which kind of connects with the point that I made the episode after the fucking Heyman report. I said, if you're going to talk to people close to Bogaerts every day, the story is going to change every day. It's, yeah, speaking as someone that like does hear stuff like this, the stories change on the daily. Like, I don't have any fucking, like, I'm not friends with any of Bogaerts' friends or his family or whatever. I know people within the team. But have I been friends with players who were free agents and talked to them on a regular basis during their free agency process? Yes. And does that, like, hey, I'm going here, I'm going there. Well, this team called and we had a meeting with that team. That stuff changes all the time. Or I'm pissed off at the team that I was just on. Oh, we kissed and made up. Now things are fine. That shit happens. So it was more just I'm not promising you Bogaerts staying. I'm just saying more of a vibe check. It's not what fucking John Heyman said.
And no. I feel like when Bogaerts had that comment in Texas saying it was open, you know, and obviously Boris came and shut it. That felt like not Bogaerts bending the knee, but once again, making up. I'm willing to, you're not sleeping on the couch anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Put it like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we'll see how it shakes out. But I like where the vibes are at. You know? I like the energy in the room on the Xander Bogaerts staying in Boston campaign where we're at. So we'll see. See how it shakes out. But congratulations, Trevor Story, Klark's Ketchup Series MVP.
Yankees Twitter is in shambles right now.
Yeah, they keep tweeting at me. I'm like, I'm trying to do a fucking podcast about a team that's actually winning.
I've never seen people cry more about Trevor Story and tweet more than about Trevor Story than Yankees fans did over the last month, trying to cite his stats and compare him to, you know, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa or whatever it may be. And then the minute we start doing it when he's playing good is, oh, come on, really? You're doing that? Yeah, we're flexing because guess what? He's already above, or, you know, an above league average hitter for the season. It took a week. It took 10 days.
Took a week.
That's it.
Yeah. I mean, all my mentions are just tears. Tears, tears, tears. How are you going to talk shit when you guys are under 500? It doesn't feel like we're under 500. Doesn't.
Nope.
I don't feel like the Red Sox have a losing record right now. I feel like they have a clean slate.
Hey, we got the White Sox and then the Orioles, the Reds, and the A's. We're playing 5 games against the Orioles.
It's a 5-game series.
Because of the doubleheader.
Yep. It's a 5-game series. I mean, hey, don't sleep on those birds, man.
Adley scares me.
Mm-hmm. He's the real deal. The Stop and Shop look ahead. Nick Pavetta versus Dylan Cease. By the way, if you're listening to this on Monday, enjoy that off day. Why don't you go, take your baby girl out to dinner or something? You know? Jake, what are you doing tomorrow night? You got plans?
It's Celtics time tomorrow night.
Celtics! In Boston?
Yeah, in Boston. I'm not going, but I'm watching.
You're going to watch that game. Tyler, you give a shit about the Celtics?
I do have to because of my job. But
if you didn't have this job at 98.5 Sports Hub, you wouldn't give a shit.
no. We are focused on the Red Sox and baseball. But props to the Red Sox, all wearing Celtics jerseys and everything, leaving the game today, showing that support. So there's that Boston pride.
Yeah. Pat, you kiss any girls this past weekend?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Friday or Saturday?
Both.
Okay. Was it the same girl?
Nope.
Do they know this?
No, it was the same girl.
It was the same girl?
Same girl.
Oh, okay. You guys dating? You love her?
Yep.
You do love her?
All of that, yeah.
Yeah. Have you taken her on a date or?
She's been on a date.
Where'd you take her?
A restaurant.
Was it like a Italian restaurant or?
It was Italian.
Where'd you get?
I think I got veal parm.
Okay.
Good pick.
What percentage tip did you leave?
A lot, actually.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah, because it was kind of weird. I used this place doesn't take reservations, but it's Hoboken, so like usually I know somebody. It's a small town,
yeah.
And so I called over to the guy that usually does it for me. He calls me back. He says, "Just so you know what you're going to walk into here." I was like, "Okay." He goes, "We had 7 different people call over to get you a reservation there." I was like, "Why so many?" And he's like, "Oh, it was just tough to get a hold of them, all that stuff." So on top of that, the guy that did finally get a hold of him to do this told him that he had a multi-millionaire coming in that we needed to treat him like gold or something like that. And so I was like, "What? Why are my finances being discussed with the
Are
guy
you a
who owns the-
multi-millionaire?
Anyway,
are you a multi? How much money do you have?
I think like once every month, you try to dig into my personal finances on the podcast.
I'll tell you if you tell me.
I'm like, what do you want to know?
I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
Show you what?
How much are you a multi-millionaire?
How much cash do I have, or how much would I theoretically be worth?
Liquid
Liquid cash?
Yeah.
I'm not a multi-millionaire, no.
Okay. But in investments and all your bank accounts?
Net worth, I got a few of them. Yeah.
So you're a multi-millionaire.
Yeah, I wouldn't say multi, I think would insinuate that it's probably 10 plus, which it's not.
But you're a you've got 3 plus. You've got 5 plus.
Okay. What are we doing here, Jared?
You've got 5 plus million.
I'd have to go figure it out.
Why don't you have a nicer place?
I bought this place in 2012 and I have not moved since.
And you live with your brother?
Yeah. I think he's gone soon, but I want to move to Manhattan. But
why, Pat? Just move to Boston. We can hang out. We can do stuff together. Come on.
Boston move is
we can buy a bar together.
I bet we could.
We could.
You said you wanted that, Pat.
You did say you wanted that.
I want a Boston bar, and I want I will have a place in Boston possibly.
Next to me.
Sure.
I
want to buy it though.
Yeah, let's buy them together. Come on.
Perfect.
We'll buy units next to each other and knock the fucking wall down.
Okay.
Yeah. Why not?
Anyway, so
they would never know.
Okay.
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But so I didn't know. This is the first time I've ever gone into a restaurant with someone to have at least believe what my financial capabilities are, and so I felt obligated to tip a ton. So I did
5 plus million.
Okay, but I didn't tip like a crazy. The bill was $100. I was down between $50 and just give them $50 cash or doubling the bill. And I thought doubling the bill just, I felt like it was weird that I was just all of a sudden doing this. So and 20%, which is my typical tip, 20 to 25% was $20. So I thought 50 was sufficient.
I usually tip 100 in State Street. Saying,
I would have tripled it.
Yeah. So you have $5+ million and you want to move to Boston with your girlfriend?
No.
What part of that was wrong?
Does she want to move to Boston?
She does.
I don't have a girlfriend.
Yeah. Pat's girlfriend was like, "Hey, I want to move to Boston." And I was like, "Babe,
You call
telling
my
me I'll
girlfriend
start
babe?
looking-
Are you telling
Yeah,
me
I
your
call her
girl-
babe.
Okay.
Yeah, I do. So what? Do you trust me?
Definitely.
Yeah. Like, put it this way, Pat. If, like, say you were in the Alps, right?
Mm-hmm.
And your girlfriend was visiting Boston and you got stuck in the Alps because of the snow, you'd be like, I have no problem with you staying at Jared's. Like, you're definitely going to sleep on the couch. He's going to sleep in his bed and nothing's going to happen, right?
Yeah, I would have no problem with you
you.
sleeping, but she's not going to.
So now you don't trust me.
I'm getting her a hotel room, but if last
But
case
my
scenario,
apartment would be nicer and there would be better food.
Mm-mm.
So you don't trust me.
No, it's not about not trusting. It's about giving the girl her own space.
Hotels are
what
so
if she
cold.
was like, me and Jared really like to watch scary movies together?
Yeah, so now we're getting weird.
That's not weird. What if we both really like scary movies?
No, if she texted
Sounds
me,
like, Jake, does it sound like Pat doesn't trust me?
It's not weird, dude. Just chill.
Yeah, just chill out. We're just going to watch a fucking movie. We don't even have to be near each other. My living room's so big.
okay,
It's true.
sure, yeah, I
I mean,
totally.
we could be 20 feet away from each other watching the same fucking TV in my living room.
Yeah, I listen. I would trust you with a girl.
Okay. As you should. I would trust you as well. I trust you with my life.
Mm-hmm.
I would trust you with my life, not just my significant other.
Yeah.
I'll trust you with my life, Pat. Say thank you. That's a great honor.
Thank you, Jared.
You're welcome. If I was in a life or death situation, I would trust you.
Fantastic.
Do you
I would as
appreciate
well
that?
to you. Yeah, I would, and I would as I reciprocate that. I would trust
Thank
you.
you. Do you actually?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Huh.
You should.
I know.
I would do anything to protect
That's what I do.
you. Mm-hmm. I would do that. How do you feel
You
about
hung out-
girls with tattoos?
You
No,
know
I-
my last
correction.
girlfriend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you feel about girls with sleeves?
I don't mind it.
Yeah.
But it depends on the girl.
Mm-hmm. You ever kiss one?
The sleeve or a girl with a sleeve.
Girl with a sleeve.
Maybe. I'm not.
What do you mean maybe? That makes you sound like a dirtbag.
No, I just don't remember. I do fancy tattoos.
Yeah.
I just don't remember if I've ever had a girl with a full sleeve before or not.
Mm-hmm.
You don't remember all the girls you've kissed?
Yeah. It's probably because he's drunk all the time. But
Jesus.
I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to
Wrap
say
this
that.
up.
I'm not going to say that. I mean, he just has a bad memory.
I do have a bad memory.
He has so much information and knowledge in his brain that sometimes it's hard to retain meaningless women in his life because obviously he only remembers his girlfriend that he has now.
Okay.
What's her name? Sandra?
Sandra, yes.
Sandra.
It's pronounced Sandra.
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 Yes.
Usually, that's how Mark Appel's mother's name is. That's why I said Sandra, because that's how she introduced herself.
Sandra.
Sandra. If I remember correctly. I mean, it's been 10 years, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was Sandra. Sandra and I think Patrick. Nice people.
Great people.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of Mark. Good guy.
As am I. As am I. Very love that guy.
We'll have to get him on. I didn't know that you guys were pals.
Yeah, we played together. Newport Goals. Yeah.
Great day to be a gull, huh?
Great day to be a gull.
Mhm.
That was a fun place. I liked Newport.
Yeah, I bet you did.
I did.
Nick Pavetta versus Dylan Cease on Tuesday.
That's a rematch, right?
I believe so. Rich Hill versus Lucas Giolito. And Michael Walker versus Vince Velasquez. Dylan Cease. He's got the 3.09 ERA, but a 2.16 FIP. Fourth best in baseball. He struggled against the Yankees 2 starts ago. Season high 6 earned runs, 2 homers, but his last start, 5 2/3, 7 hits, 0 earned runs, couple walks, 9 strikeouts. He did face the Red Sox in a game that the White Sox won. 5 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 8 strikeouts. Did get the no decision. His fastball sits at 96 miles an hour. Opponents hitting 159 against it. Whiff rate of 29%. Slider, just to fuck with you, 41% whiff rate. White Sox are 6-2 in the games that he has started this year. Lucas Giolito, bounce back year after being meh last year. His whip, it's got a lot of traffic. He's got a lot of traffic. It's his highest since he was not good in 2018. And then me and Dallas fixed him in spring of 2019 and made him an ace. He's not allowed more than 3 earned runs in any start this season. He has allowed home runs in 4 straight starts, including 2. What was the last time out? Changeup is still dirt. 194 batting average against. White Sox are 2-4 when he starts, though. And the Red Sox see him well. What was that? Marathon Monday last year? Where they banged him up? Red Sox hitters are hitting 325 with a 979 OPS against Lucas Giolito. JD's got a homer. He's 5 for 10. And Kike and Jackie Bradley both have homers against Lucas Giolito. Vince Velasquez sucks. He has a career ERA of 5, and his ERA is about 6 this year. Doesn't strike out a ton of guys, a lot of traffic. But his best start of the season was against the Red Sox. 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run.
Not the same team anymore.
Not the same team. It's a different team.
Completely different.
Completely different team. His slider sucks. His curveball sucks. His sinker sucks. His fastball sucks. He sucks. The White Sox are somehow 4-3 in his starts, but he is dreadful. Trevor Story has 3 home runs against him. JD Martinez has 2 home runs against him. They both have an OPS over 1,000 against him. So hopefully JD's back. I know he had the back spasms. So we'll see how that goes. Series prediction time. Ooh. I'm gonna defer to the king of predictions, Patrick James Light.
This is gonna be a tough series. Chicago is going to be coming off an emotional series with the Yankees. And see, are they still up 5-0, Jared?
It's over.
It's over.
2 losses for the Yankees today.
2 losses on the same day.
It's a for a team that has also struggled this year a little bit. That's a good rallying cry. Like, that's something to get the people going in the clubhouse. So I don't love that going into our series. However, this Boston team has been playing quite well. I think it's gonna be a tough series, but I think we take 2.
Ooh,
I think we take 2. I don't think we can get away with having one of those rinky-dink losses that we put together today. It ends up being a win. I don't think we can get away with that against Chicago. But I think we take 2 out of 3. I think this is a good team right now.
Tyler.
I'm going to join Pat. I'm going to go 2 out of 3. I think a day off heading into this series is huge. I think the bullpen by the end of this Mariners series was kind of at their end. You kind of used all your bullets to get by, and the starting pitching didn't exactly help you in that front for the most part. Coming to the series, those arms are fresh. The offense is rolling. Hopefully you get JD Martinez back. Alex Verdugo looks like he's going to be coming back as well. I think they keep the train rolling. I don't love the middle game, Giolito and Hill, but games 1 and 3, I think Nick Pavetta is elevating right now, and we're kind of seeing it in front of us. And game 3, as we said, Velasquez, he sucks.
He does suck. Jake?
I got the Red Sox in a sweep.
Sweep? Jake's got a Red Sox sweep in Chicago. After a Celtics dub on Monday, he's got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday Sox.
That's an 8-game winning streak.
That is what it is, isn't it?
That looked pretty good.
Man. Ooh. My gut is telling me 2 out of 3. But my heart
Say it, Jared.
my heart is telling me this is going to be a fucking sweep, Pat. I don't know why you're laughing. I don't know what's so goddamn funny. But my heart is telling me it's a sweep, and I'll explain why. Because if they do lose a game in this series, I feel like it's going to be that first game, the Dylan Cease game. But Nick Pavetta has been so good, and they are riding the high, that if they were to win a game that they weren't supposed to win, wouldn't it make sense that it would be the first one? And if they win that first one, I like their chances of winning the next 2. That's my thought process. That's my logic. And I would rather predict a sweep and be wrong than predict 2 out of 3 and have it be a sweep and I was wrong about that. So you know what I'm going to fucking say, Pat? You know what I'm going to say?
What are you going to say?
I got the Red Sox sweeping this series.
Wow.
I got the Red Sox sweeping this series. And I'm going to stay humble about it too. Because Jake picked it first. So I am just piggybacking off of Jake's brain and hopefully riding it to a series prediction victory. And we'll see. When we rendezvous on Thursday night to talk about this series, we'll see where we're at. But I like my chances. I like your chances too. I think one of us is going to be right. And there are 2 other potential outcomes, but I think one of us is going to be right here. But I had to go with my heart, like you did this past weekend when you asked Sandra to be your girlfriend.
Exactly.
And if you want to go to this series in Chicago, you got to use SeatGeek. Absolutely have to use SeatGeek for this series in Chicago. I actually thought about it. I don't know. Because I'm already going to Chicago for the Cubs. But, I mean, you might want to witness history in this Red Sox-White Sox showdown. Have you been treating your butt well lately, Pat?
Not as well as it could be.
Yeah. Has it been going places?
It every now and again, those places.
Yeah. You got to try SeatGeek.
Okay.
You absolutely have to try SeatGeek. I might actually use SeatGeek tomorrow night because I was really tempted to try and get tickets to Game 3 to the Celtics. I'm glad I didn't because that would have been a kick in the balls, and we don't do that anymore. But who's to say on a Red Sox off night that that's not the perfect opportunity to pop open the SeatGeek app and buy myself some goddamn Celtics tickets? Because that's where my mind's at right now. And SeatGeek is so beloved by butts everywhere that they've made it the highest rated ticketing app, whether it's concerts, baseball, basketball, football, festivals, or anything else. SeatGeek puts tickets from all over the web in one place to make buying simple. SeatGeek rates every ticket from 0 to 10 to make sure you're getting a good deal. Green means good, red means bad. And speaking of good, we got a deal for you. You can get $20 off your first purchase with the promo code Jared, Jared, at SeatGeek.com or in the SeatGeek app. That is promo code Jared for $20 off your first SeatGeek order. SeatGeek, get your seat in a seat. Download the app today. A couple more things before we get out of here. Because I know Pat has to hang out with his girlfriend, kiss her, and tell her that he loves her. Because he's already in love. Crazy Sandra, they're in love. You guys are in love?
Yeah.
Yeah, you are. Oh, how could you not be? She's a doll. She's a doll.
Mm-hmm.
Is she, what's she do for work?
What does she do for work?
Yeah.
She is a veterinarian technician.
Oh, she fucking loves animals, huh?
Loves animals. Big fan.
What's her favorite animal? Is she there right now?
She's not here right now, no.
Eli?
Sandra.
Her favorite animal is a cheetah.
Are you just making that
That's
up?
a lie.
That sounded like the makeup voice
Absolute
that Pat
lie.
does.
I don't have a makeup voice.
Yeah.
That was the best animal you could come up with?
Yeah. Just
Uh-huh.
cheetah.
That was embarrassing.
Yeah. There's no way that that's her favorite animal. Why don't you ask her right now? Because she's definitely there.
Sandra's not here. No.
Oh, is someone else there?
Oh man, this has been a good podcast, guys.
Oh, God.
You're gonna make me not believe in love anymore, Pat. You're gonna make me not believe in love anymore.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just, it is what it is at this point.
It is what it is.
Yeah. I went to the game with Jake on Friday, right? Was that Friday?
Yeah, that was Friday.
Went to the game with Jake.
Nice.
Did a little dinner.
Hmm.
Little dinner before the game. I actually went out after the game. I was very hungover on Saturday.
What'd you do Friday night?
We went to, what's it called? The bullpen?
Oh,
Yeah,
I've been there.
bullpen.
Yeah, we went to the bullpen after the game. Johnny Gomes came out with us after. Had a few beers, and that was it. It wasn't anything super eventful, but I don't know. Bullpen has some baseball tavern vibes, I guess.
Kind
Like
of.
nothing will ever be the baseball tavern, but I will say the bullpen, as far as like bars that I've experienced in the Fenway area since being cast to the wolves, it's been the closest, I guess. Still not the same.
Mm.
There'll never be another.
Mhm.
That's why me and Pat are gonna open up the baseball tavern.
The bullpens where Duran's agent told me he.
Interesting.
I feel like you can't just say that.
That was a pretty random.
Why not?
I
I don't know,
appreciate
I feel
it.
like he probably told you that in confidence.
He told a very drunk man that in confidence. So I don't think he liked me.
Oh, that's true. I'm sure he did.
Mhm.
Pat's always just like, hey, by the way, here's something I shouldn't say. Just from the clouds, always.
Jake is writing down the exact minute where he needs to cut this.
Yeah. No, he's just going to bleep it. That's why Jake's the best. I don't even have to like send him, hey, bleep. When Pat said that thing, can you bleep that? You can leave the whole discussion in about just Pat just throwing shit in there. But
I don't know. Like I say, I don't think the guy liked me very much. So
he didn't like you? Why
I
not?
don't think so. I don't know. I just got the vibe.
Speaking of guys that don't like you, did you hear anything from Heath Embry, Pat?
No, I have not heard anything from Heath Embry.
Do you want me to reach out to Heath Embry?
No, I'm okay. But I doesn't even remember.
Probably not.
No.
I'm going to reach out to him and be like, hey, what are your thoughts on Pat Light? I'll keep it between me and you. And then I'm just going to blurt it out on a podcast.
Okay. I'll keep it
I
between
like
me
that.
and you. The next episode is his quote is the title.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Is he still playing?
Yeah. I just saw him pop up the other day. Who the fuck is he with? Who the fuck does he pitch for? It's not the Orioles.
No,
Pirates?
Pittsburgh right now, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh.
It is the Pirates.
That makes
Yeah.
sense. Ben Sharrington's over there.
Yeah, Pittsburgh right now. He 17 games, 13.1 innings pitched, 8.10 ERA.
He's given up 12 earned runs in 13 and a third innings
Been there.
with 9 walks and 15 hits, 5 home runs. That's not good.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
So I think the last thing he's going to want to talk about is his thoughts on Pat Light. Like, hey, man, I know you're struggling right now, but what do you think about Pat Light? Maybe we'll wait for him to have a couple good scoreless appearances before we check in on what's the temperature on Pat Light.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. All right. What was the other thing? What did I say before this? I said I had a couple more things. Oh. Well, one of them was Jake's takes, but there's something else before that.
Something we talked about before the show.
What did we talk about before the show?
I don't think there's anything to talk
Oh,
about.
Pat, why'd you talk? You kind of blew the
Pat.
cover. You owe us something.
Oh,
I
yeah.
I gotta get going, guys.
No.
Yeah.
Sandra's in bed, and she really wants me to get in bed.
Yeah. So we've got Pat's picks. Pat's picks this week. I mean, anyone that's like, oh, I don't like the Pat's picks segment, at least I saved it until after all the Red Sox talk. I mean, you got what? Almost 2 hours of Red Sox talk before Pat's picks. If you really don't fucking like it that much, first of all, shut up. Second of all, fuck you. Third of all, you're getting Pat's picks right now. Pat's picks, top 5, most impressive Guinness Book of World Records according to Pat Light. Pat's picks, top 5.
Top 5.
Top 5 Pat's picks. Pat's favorite Guinness Book of World Records.
So it's going to be more so weird ones. I mean, you allowed me to pick the adjective that was used, so it's more weird.
Yeah,
that were kind of odd things that people were trying to get into the Guinness Book of World Records, and why the Guinness Book of World Records is keeping a log of this.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to start with number 5, which might be arguably one of the weirdest one of who even thinks to start doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Most spoons balanced on a face.
Most spoons balanced on a face.
Yes, let's take some guesses, folks.
I'm gonna say 59.
59. Tyler?
12.
Jake?
35.
Are we doing Price is Right rules, or are we doing closest?
Closest.
Closest is Jake. 31 spoons.
Ooh.
Don't buy it.
They have a picture.
That also doesn't seem that impressive.
It's just, why would you even attempt?
I mean, get in the Guinness Book of World Records. You
Yeah,
end
but
up on
why are
Pat's
we
picks.
keeping track
Kidding me?
of how many spoons can be on someone's face?
The world record?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next, number 4.
Coming in at number 4.
Stretchiest skin.
How do you what?
Mhm.
How do you measure the stretchiness of a skin?
Apparently, it's how far you can pull it off.
Okay, and then they measure that in like what, centimeters?
Inches.
Inches?
Inches.
Okay.
Take a guess how many inches.
Can I ask where the skin from the body is?
It would appear as though it is the oh god, this picture's terrible. It appears as though it's around the neck, upper shoulder area.
Okay.
Is it a man or a woman?
Man,
Okay.
I think. Yeah, man.
Wow. All right. I'm gonna say 14 inches.
14 inches. Tyler.
9.
Jake.
8.
Jake wins again.
That's not fair.
6.25 inches.
6.25 inches. Wow.
That is outrageous.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Coming in at number 3.
Number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Most piercings in a lifetime.
Wait a second. So it's not the most piercings in a single body. It's the most piercings that they got over the course of their life. So they're counting piercings that they don't have anymore.
Based off of the picture, it seems as though it's right now as well. Because
Okay.
you cannot see this woman's face.
Okay.
It's all pierced.
Mm-hmm.
But it says in a lifetime.
Most piercings in a lifetime.
Mm-hmm.
That number seems high. I'm just picturing like them piercing all over their fucking body.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say 178 piercings.
178. Tyler.
332.
Jake.
250.
First loss for Jake. Tyler is the closest, but he is nowhere fucking close.
Okay.
The total amount is 4,225 piercings.
Insanity.
That is insanity.
A dub's a dub, though.
A dub-
4,000?
Yes. 4,000.
4,000.
Mm-hmm.
Does the picture look like that? Like, would you have guessed that, Pat?
I would have guessed higher than your guys' guesses based off the picture, but I would not have
Yeah, we
guessed
don't have
4,000.
the point of the picture for reference, so we're just kind of raw dogging.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so I wouldn't have guessed 4,000. I would probably guess maybe 600 or so.
Okay.
But I mean, you can't. This lady's face is completely covered.
A lot of piercing.
A lot of piercings. Number 2, and this is mainly for the picture. You guys, unfortunately, won't be able to see it. It is the skinniest waist. Now, for skinniest waist to make the list here at 2, you gotta imagine. And guess before you look it up, but I want you guys to look up this picture. I mean, this is outrageous that someone's waist could be this. And I will give you the hint that it's measured in centimeters.
Centimeters?
Centimeters.
How does that one work?
I think it's all the way around. I believe so. Yeah, all the way around.
And centimeters are less than inches?
Yes. Okay, Jared.
How many centimeters are in an inch?
I don't know that answer. I know there's 100 centimeters in a meter.
I think it's 24.
100?
Nope.
Isn't it? No, in a meter. That's in a meter, not an inch.
Yeah.
It's 2.5.
How many centimeters are in an inch? 2.5. Okay. 2.5 centimeters is an inch. Now you got me doing math, you fucking asshole.
You did this segment, not me.
I mean, you picked this fucking...
I'm telling you, look up the picture after you're done. It is astonishing. Like, where did all the organs go?
I'm going to say... Oh. This is 30 centimeters?
30 centimeters. Tyler?
64.
64. Jake?
25.
We have a Jared Carrabis win here, folks.
Let's go!
38.1.
Let's go. It's about damn time we got to win.
I'll tell you, take a look at that picture when you guys have a chance. It is outrageous. It looks like it's photoshopped.
And
It
that
just doesn't make sense. Someone's body could be this.
Was that number 2 or number 1?
2. No, we still wait. Number 1
okay.
is
All right, we still got number 1.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, that picture is scary. I don't like that.
right.
Mm-mm.
I don't even know if I want to see it.
Nope.
Okay. Coming in at number 1, Pat.
Number 1. And another thing why I can't imagine why someone would do this.
Mm-hmm.
Most needles inserted into the head.
Into the head?
Into the head.
Question. Is it the skull? Like, can you put it in your your cheeks and your forehead, like the whole
I would
head?
imagine it's the whole bit. And they did
Is there
not
no
provide.
photo?
They did not provide. The first sentence here is, "We'll spare you the image for this one."
Okay.
And it was achieved by Wei Shang-Chu in 2013.
Legend.
Legend of the game.
Oh, and it looks as though, based off the last sentence, what you guys might be thinking of needles for medical use, this is acupuncture.
So these are like thin needles.
I think most needles are thin. I don't think
Depends.
They're stealing steel rods into you.
I mean, I feel like the acupuncture needles are smaller needles than like drawing blood needles.
Well, those are pretty thin needles. Regardless, let's hear a number, Jared.
Most needles inserted into a head at the same time.
That's what it looks like.
Man. Wow. I'm going to say I mean, by the way, the fact that I always go first puts me at a disadvantage. I just want you to know that.
It is what it is.
Most needles in a head at the same time. I'm gonna say 875.
875. Tyler.
224.
224. And Jake.
1,000.
1,000. The winner. And I think the most wins. Jake.
Oh, Jake.
The final answer is 2,188.
Jesus.
Embarrassing guess on my part.
Wow.
Yeah, 200 was not anywhere near.
No, not even close.
You don't have to rub it in.
I mean, it was just not even the same stratosphere. I was gonna say like 1,800. I was like, where did they fit? I don't know if that, but I guess they fit.
They fit. We're Wang Sheng Chu.
But there's no picture?
No, they did not provide a picture for this one.
Who knows?
You know who could break that record?
Who?
Steve.
Peralt?
Yeah.
Big head?
Huge. Fucking massive dome. He could break that record and you'd still be able to see his whole face. I mean, he'd be the first to tell you that.
Yeah.
All right, that's Pat's picks.
There you go.
Good work,
Pat's
Pat.
picks. Jake's takes.
I was gonna say, shout out Johnny Gomes. An underrated moment of the weekend was catching Trevor Story's grand slam on the monster.
Yeah, I feel a little disappointed that we went the entire show without mentioning that. That's on us.
Nice
I'll
chest.
take responsibility. Yeah, we Trevor Story hit a fucking grand slam, and Johnny Gomes caught it. And after the game, by the way, Johnny was fucking pissed drunk when he did this. like I saw all the news report be like, oh, it was like a sentimental moment between two players. Johnny Gomes went to the Johnny Gomes was fucking hammered, and he went into the clubhouse. He was like, "Here, you want your grand slam back?" And Trevor Story is a baseball rat. People were comparing him, maybe not personality wise, but like in intensity and love of the game wise, to Dustin Pedroia, which I feel like is one of the biggest compliments that you can give a player if you like love baseball that much and you put that much into your craft. So he was like, yeah, I fucking want that. It's my first grand slam with the Red Sox. And Gomes was kind of just like, man, I wish he didn't want it. Like I want it too. But he signed it, Story signed it, and Story has the ball now. But there is definitely a piece of Johnny Gomes that wish that he said, no, you can keep it. One of the great moments of that series. That was one of the big, the vibes are different moments. It was Story hitting 3 homers, grand slam, 5th homer, big hit on Sunday. I mean, what can you say? They're at the fact that they added the fucking money guns to the home run cart. Everyone's saying, oh, yeah, the home run cart, that's an old thing. They did that in 2020 and 21. Now it's different. Now they have money guns.
I don't want to say it, but I talked about that at length on one of our shows and how they're going to get hot and they're going to find some type of alteration to do that's going to be more this team than it was other teams. And the money guns is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Am I tripping or have they steered away from that in recent days?
What, the money guns?
I feel like I haven't seen them the last couple days, or at least the last series.
I know Story got the money guns. During the week, who the fuck did they play?
Houston.
Houston. They had the money guns for Houston.
But did they have them for this series?
I think so, yeah.
Did they? I trust you.
I think so. Yeah, unless they ran out of money with all the home runs that fucking...
I don't know if that's what
Story
happened or what.
Do you want me to get the inside scoop?
I'm curious.
All right. Did the money guns run out of money by the end of the series? Question mark. Let's get an inside scoop here. I feel like this is they fly out tonight. They like with an off day on Monday, they'd fly out tonight, right?
I think that's why they were all rocking the C stuff.
Yeah, and usually you get the choice. Like they tell you, do you want your off day in Chicago or do you want it in Boston?
Right.
A lot of guys choose away cities just because they don't get to spend that much time in those cities. So
that makes sense. Who votes
in the minor leagues? Minor leagues, you do not get the choice because it's an extra night in a hotel that they will not pay for.
Like, do most guys like? Is that like an entire team vote, or is that like the veterans are like, we want the off day? Yeah,
the veterans might talk to the guys to try to get the pulse on what everyone's thinking, but more times than not, like you don't even like. I would never hear about it. Like all of a sudden, I just know what they were leaving.
So last time we have a money gun pick on the social media was 6 days ago, and it was Story.
Okay. I bet that's probably what it was. Is that
just got to get some more money?
Yeah, they need to get like some sort of Amazon 2-day delivery to Chicago. By the time they get there, they should have more money for the money guns. You can't not have money for the money guns.
I'm looking at Story today. He did not have the money guns when he went for his cart ride.
Yeah, I don't. Now that you mention, I don't remember Arroyo doing it. By the way, shout out Christian Arroyo. Oh, okay. So this is the this is the update. After the first game, when it was wet out, the money got wet and they stopped working right, so we had to scrap it.
Oh, I thought you brought that up on the broadcast the other day. I thought he was kidding, so that makes sense. All right.
We need new ones immediately.
Whatever it costs.
Yeah, okay. That's funny. Well, at least, I mean, if it rains, then just don't do the money guns. But like, I would imagine you're going to play more games without rain than with rain. So I thought he was going to say that it was a pain in the balls when they did the money guns. The money got stuck to the ground and like the groundskeepers were like, come on. Like it's hard to like get the fucking wet paper up. But no, we need new money guns. All right. Money guns will be back. I'm on it.
Thank you.
We'll figure it out. All right. We'll be back on Thursday. Enjoy your off day. Go Celtics. And next week, Pat's picks. The top 5. The top 5 state flowers next week on Pat's picks. I'm excited for that one. I'm a big flower guy. You know, I love flowers. Pat's always buying flowers for fucking Sandra, and she loves those fucking dandelions. So, all right, next week, Pat's picks. That was it for Jake's takes. You want to shout out Johnny Gomes?
Yeah, we can also shout out Chaim for his reaction after the Franchy Grand Slam.
That was pretty sweet.
God.
That made him move.
Best gift of the season.
I'll be using that gif a lot. Yeah. All right. We'll see ya on Thursday.
Buenas noches, amigos.